All right, we have the newly released body cam footage from the Chicago Police Department of police officer Crystal Rivera being shot and killed by her own partner in Chicago police crime, Carlos Baker. But before we get into that, I've exposed a lot of bad cops on this channel over the years, and a lot of other people have too. We've exposed the fact that while cops have no problem ruining our lives and even ending our lives, they seem to never have any problem going on with their own lives after that. As though nothing happened. Kind of like this psychopathic FedEx driver did when he brutally murdered 7-year-old Athena Strand. The next day, he's out there just delivering packages like he always does, as though nothing even happened. Like he didn't just erase a little life. And because of the thin blue line wall of silence and protection, rarely did these officers or deputies suffer negative real-world consequences for their immoral actions. While they consistently place us in mortal danger, they're the ones that seem to always get away scot-free. Rarely did they ever get a meaningful suspension. It always ends up being kind of a vacation. Hardly ever did they get incarceration, and oftentimes their actions are rewarded with some form of promotion. Just a few examples. You've got Matthew Schneider with the Glendale, Arizona Police Department. He tased Johnny Wheatcroft 11 times and tortured him in front of his screaming kids. No jail time. Mesa cop Philip Brailsford kills Daniel Shaver. No jail time. Albuquerque police end the life of homeless man James Boyd. No jail time. Geronimo Yanez from St. Anthony Police in Minnesota killed Philando Castile for no frickin' reason. No jail time. Arvada police officer Craig Brownlow kills Johnny Hurley after Johnny saved the entire Arvada Police Department from a mad gunman. No jail time. And just recently, we reported on Minnesota State Patrolman Ryan Mosier, who recklessly drove at 128 miles per hour, costing the life of 71-year-old Dale Braun and paralyzing 17-year-old Blake Mostad from the neck down. The trooper walked away with barely a scratch. They just seem to get away so easily with their criminality, but not all the time. Crystal Rivera wasn't able to walk away thanks to her partner, Carlos Baker. We've got newly released body camera footage from the Chicago Police Department where Carlos Baker and his female partner, Crystal Rivera, are responding to a call. The first 2 minutes of this is silent. The audio will kick in. Just stay tuned. You got to see this craziness for yourself. First, we're going to look at the body camera footage from Carlos Baker's body cam, and then we're going to flip over to Rivera's body cam.
No, don't say, because he's... Yeah.
Come here.
Hey!
Let me see your hands.
Let me see your fucking hands, bro! Let me see your hands! Give me your fucking hands! Shots fired at the police! 10-1, 10-1! Shots fired at the police! 82nd and Drexel! 10-1, 10-1! Shots fired at the police!
All units head over there. 82nd and Bristol, 10-1, shot fired at the police.
Crystal, you good? 10-1, shots fired at the police!
We have their 10-1. We need an ambulance.
You need an ambulance! Ambulance, now! I can't get my partner!
We're rolling an ambulance for 82nd and Bristol. We are rolling an ambulance.
Squad, my partner's hit! My partner's hit! Give me an ambulance now!
We have enough
Squad, I can't get to my partner. I'm upstairs. Roll the SWAT team. Roll the SWAT team.
Alright, step forward. All units head over there. 663 charges. We're rolling an ambulance.
Hey, call the police!
Hey, I'm calling them now.
Call them!
Somebody got shot.
Yeah!
Somebody got shot.
Squad, roll everybody. Roll the SWAT team, SWAT.
Ambulance is rolling. 663 charges. Ambulance is rolling. We have an officer charge. 663 charges. Go ahead. You have ear. Are you running behind anybody?
Squad, we're on the second floor. Hurry up. Come on, Chris. Hear me. Stay with me.
Alright, what's the good location? I heard second floor. What's the good location for the second floor?
Come on, Chris. Come on, Chris.
Second floor, I need a good answer.
Come on, Chris.
The better address.
663 charges.
Stay with me, Chris. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me, Chris. Oh, hurry! Yeah, Crystal, shot. Get her in the car. Get her in the car. Get her in the car now. Take this. Get her in the car. Get her in the car. Take her to university. Now. Squad, roll SWAT now.
This is Crystal Rivera's body cam perspective.
Jesus, Drexel. Over here.
Hey!
Let me see your hands.
Let me see your fucking hands, bro! Let me see your hands!
Let me see your fucking hands. Hands. Hands.
Let me see your fucking hands!
A suspect is now facing charges in connection with the unintentional shooting death, at least they're calling it unintentional, of a Chicago police officer. Chicago police said 25-year-old Adrian Rucker pointed a rifle at police on Thursday night, even though there's no evidence for that, when Officer Crystal Rivera was killed. CPD said the shooting happened around 10 p.m. Rivera was part of a team of officers that tried to stop someone who was believed to be armed near 82nd and Drexel. And if that's all they had on him, then they were willing to violate a man's Second Amendment rights. Investigators say that the person ran into an apartment and officers chased him. Police say Rucker then confronted the officers with a rifle inside the building before leaving the scene. Neither Baker's nor Rivera's body cam reveals this to be true. Chicago police claim that Rucker ran from the residence but was later taken into custody, and they also say that 3 guns were recovered at the scene. But then again, Chicago police are known to be dishonest. Rivera suffered a gunshot wound to the back and died at a nearby hospital. Her death was ruled a homicide. The family of Rivera filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Chicago Police Department and Baker last December, claiming he should never have been allowed on the force when he fatally shot her during the chase. The lawsuit claims that when Baker shot and killed Rivera during the chase, he was struggling to accept the end of his romantic relationship with her. The Rivera family attorney said that after Rivera was wounded, Baker never rendered aid, and we can see that on the body cam, ran to a different floor of the apartment building, and did not radio dispatch that she had been shot, which goes against his training and department policy. The attorney said that with a weak voice, Rivera tried to alert dispatch that she'd been shot, but she was unable due to the severe injury that she suffered. At no point did Officer Baker ever admit to or clarify that he was the only one who discharged a weapon. The lawsuit also argues that Baker should never have been a police officer in the first place, citing more than a dozen misconduct complaints and 3 suspensions on his record. The Illinois Answers Project and the Chicago Sun-Times shows that Baker had a long history of complaints and investigations, including an August 10th incident at District Bar on North Milwaukee Avenue, where he allegedly battered a 29-year-old female off-duty Chicago police officer. He then allegedly attempted to interfere with the internal investigation into that complaint. Rivera's attorneys say that concerns about Baker go back further than the night he killed Crystal, and argued that the city hired this rogue police officer despite knowing he was a danger to the community while he was a probationary officer. They took affirmative action to hire Carlos Baker when the only action should have been to terminate his probation and ensure he never wore a CPD shield or carried a gun. And if he hadn't been hired, they say, Crystal Rivera would still be alive today. According to reports, Rivera and Baker had an on and off romantic relationship for about 2 years, starting around June 2023, while they worked together. Rivera learned that Baker had a live-in girlfriend, so she ended it for good last winter. She told him multiple times that she planned to tell the other woman about their affair, and she expressed fears to colleagues and supervisors about how he'd react. The day before the June 5th, 2025 shooting, Baker showed up uninvited at her house. Her family's lawsuit claims that he couldn't accept the breakup and that her death would stop her from exposing him. The Chicago Police Department knew about the relationship and her safety concerns, but still kept them as tactical partners. Baker's attorney says the shooting was accidental and that he immediately called for help. I'll be frank with you. In situations like this, I never really mourn the death of these heroes and warriors as they're put on pedestals while their caskets are being carted in front of the public. I always ask myself, how many lives did Rivera ruin? And is this kind of like karmic justice? Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Global Thought Police in the comments section below. Are you shedding a tear over this? What do you think should happen to Carlos Baker? Is this an incident of poetic justice? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. It's really important to overcome the algorithm. Share this video with everybody you know. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, maybe become a channel member or grab a shirt. But the most important thing is to understand that freedom is dangerous. It's scary. It's unpredictable. And usually the people in our society who want to take those freedoms away are wearing costumes and badges. I'll see you in the next video.